us now. The place is here. This is OTT. I'm the big beefy boy, Shaz Beef, from the Wrestling Fan at Wrestling Show. And today I am joined by my colleague, Edward Stewart Tate. Edward, how are you, sir?
I'm not great.
No. Is it because of your facial hair? What is going on with that?
I'm trying something new.
It's not working.
Listen,
you look like David Brent.
Just want to set some boundaries here. After last week, or last month, whenever that was, can't keep up. I don't want you trying anything, okay? I don't want you doing any weird shit, any mask stuff, none of that.
I have no idea what you're talking about, man.
Just watch. You're here to do a job. You're being paid. Do the job.
Yeah, I tried to do the job before Homecoming, and you weren't even showing up for it, so...
What are you talking about before Homecoming?
Before Homecoming, we did one show. We were meant to do another. People were like, "Where's OTT Insider?" I didn't want to rat you out and say, "Oh, it's because of Edward Stewart Tate. He didn't want to do it."
Rat me out.
Yeah, but like, why? Like, you didn't want to do it, so
I wanted to do it.
you didn't want to do it. You didn't show up.
I just didn't want you. I didn't want to be anywhere near you. I just want to set the record straight. Edward Stewart Tate wanted to be here. The ever popular ES Tate wanted to be here for all the fans, but I just didn't want to be anywhere near you. And
why though?
what is the story with that camera? There's usually a camera facing me.
Yeah.
One and one. What's the story? This one's... Why is there mics here?
That's the crack, lads. Oh, come in.
Jeez,
How are we?
yourself, huh?
How are we?
Lovely to
Lovely,
see you
Shane
again.
and Tate.
Shane.
I'll be
CBL,
respectful.
how are you?
You cheeky little bollocks.
Never mind.
Wouldn't shake me hand, huh?
No.
I said no more.
He's been advocating for you to not be CBL's manager anymore. This guy. Have you ever watched OTT Insider, Ghandi?
Did me whole watch the show with this Egypt on it, and you're telling
He's an
lies,
Egypt.
telling lies on the internet saying that he should be gone from me. I known him since he height, and you don't know the story. You'll never know the story, and you're a road man.
How many matches has he won, Gandhi? Under your
no.
stewardship? How many?
Stewardship.
Stewardship. Look, I'm not here to be an English professor. I'm here to manage. That's
You're
what I
trying to
do.
look like one with that.
Here we go.
This isn't match of the
Sorry,
day or
is this
RTE.
3-on-1? Is this 3-on-1? Tate is here to do a job.
boy, isn't he?
We're here to promote OTT. We're not here for this 3-on-1 Tate.
Man's like Joe Borelli over in the corner asking the stupid questions.
that?
Yes, Tate. Little card.
That's
Don't give it
lovely.
to Don't give it to Gandhi.
Ignorant man.
He's a very ignorant man. To be fair, lads, great having you down here.
A pleasure. Thank you so much. A pleasure to be here.
It's fantastic to get to have a proper chat with you. I've met you at a few OTT shows.
Indeed.
CBL, we've chatted here before. It's
yes,
brilliant
well, sir.
having you down. The man is, look, there he is.
Wow.
There he is, signed it and all for...
Ugly emotion, man.
For us.
Here now.
Only a bit of slagging, relax.
But for once, Edward has brought up a good point.
For once.
Yeah.
What? Which point?
And I'm going to jump straight into it. CBL, you are blowing up all around the place. You're having matches here, there, everywhere. You're winning titles. And the last time we spoke, you mentioned you wanted to cement yourself in OTT.
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't happened yet.
No, not yet. But we're finding our feet, and that's an important thing. You can't say I'm not making an impact. You can't say people aren't watching.
People are singing along when you're...
This is it. You know
when
what I
you're
mean?
coming out.
The way I see
Did
it.
you let him talk just for 2 seconds? He was getting into it there. There was no need to interrupt.
There is. So what it is this is the league campaign. Now, you know nothing about sports. Look at the state here. You know nothing about sports. In the league campaign,
I know a lot
you
about
work
sports.
out the
I
tactics.
know a lot about sports.
And in
Tennis.
the tactics,
Yeah,
right,
tennis is a sport.
you don't show your cards that you're going to use in championship. So we've been trying a few things, and I'll put up my hand. The last time, I didn't know the rules. I thought you could have a substitution. I was a bit wrong there. The referee allowed it. Play it to the whistle. But this is league tactics we're playing with here now. When it comes to championship level,
Yeah, when does it get to championship level, Gandhi?
when the championship starts, Jesus Christ.
and when is that? In
The
OTT?
championship starts in May, you dope.
He's aiming to peak. I understand that.
Come on.
We're down here in Kilkenny. Like, he's aiming to peak for the championship. I
I
understand
don't even
that.
think CBL believes in this,
well,
honestly.
ask him, he's beside you.
CBL, like, you were the hottest thing in OTT. Gandhi seems to be pulling you back. Like, I don't really see how you can continue. Look at the head. Look, he's
What
looking.
I'd say.
It's like look, he's staring into your soul. He's trying to make sure you say the right thing.
Oh, listen,
and
listen.
that's a problem.
Come here now. I was young, young little fat gossin at one
Right.
point, right? Hold on now. And how many a times I lost out in that pitch? How many a times I didn't make the team? You know, and there was many summers I didn't have a pound in my pocket. But there was a man that gave me a job. There was a man that put me on the pitch.
No.
Bit by bit, you know, I will say now, you know, bit by bit, we got there.
Who is this man?
Who do you think?
You!
Who else?
That lad.
Yes.
Here, what would you do different if you were managing CBL? Hypothetical fantasy booking.
See, it starts at money, because money does a lot for any professional
Money
wrestler.
can't
No
buy
heart,
So I'd say
money. That's the issue. The GA are coming in now, and they're ruling the sport we love, and they're coming in with all this money and the expensive tickets. Where was the days where I could go up the Grove Park and see my team play, and there was no money? It's people like you coming in. No, hang on a second now. There's people coming in, and they're ruling the sport we love, and that's going to happen with this wrestling. You're going to come in, and you're going to hike up everything, and there'll be no more grassroots anymore, and it's because of people like you. I'm sorry.
What I think Peter is trying to say is that money can't buy you love.
That's not what he's trying. You don't even know what you're trying to say. You're just ranting loudly. You think loud doesn't get your point across all the time because
You would want to watch yourself now.
You're an ignorant man,
Watch
Ghandi.
yourself.
I'm an ignorant man.
Yes.
I swear to God, if you call me an ignorant man one more time, I'll jump across this table. It'll show you who an ignorant man is.
It's a circus. This is a circus.
Yeah, he's looking at the ringmaster there with his sparkly coat, huh?
Alright,
I was asked a
Nice.
question about CBL and I was going to answer and I got interrupted.
Answer away, go on.
New gear, new song, new look.
What the song? Everyone loves it. Everyone's singing.
I
along
don't
the
love the
song.
song.
Well, what's this song? Go on,
I
enlighten
don't-
me.
what
song would you
What's
give
in
him?
this book?
A bit of
What's
One
in this
Direction
book?
or
What's
something,
in-
him.
Not One Direction. Maybe One Direction. It'd be some.
You give over you, will you?
That's
Be writing that.
You should see the picture. You should see the pictures he has drawn of him with the social elite. It's
Like a bit of an artist now, a bit of Leonardo DiCaprio with the drawings.
Yeah, I'm not bad artist, actually. I'm good artist.
What song would you pick?
For CBL, I kind of have a top 20 list for my eventual Tate estate. I probably with CBL, I go something R&B-ish.
You're a bit strange, you know.
And I'd probably more tan, get rid of the mullet, change song, change gear, and then the style, the in-ring style would change a lot.
Change
under my
everything about
stewardship.
yourself. He
Okay,
said.
and go on, tell us more. What is this going to be? Sell it to me, please.
Yeah, right.
Don't be entertaining him, Jesus Christ.
Right, this is your big chance. Yeah.
Look, I'm all ears. Go on. Go on.
Sorry, I'm doing some business.
This is it.
I'm
This is a
doing
big chance.
I don't
You've
need
had
to
to go down
interrupt.
since the local rumble. Like your stock has gone down.
No, my stock
Like-
is stock is running. I
He
did
had a-
better.
he had a fair spill, didn't he?
I did
He
better
got
than you in
busted.
the local rumble. I did better than you. 13th place.
He's
Where did
been-
you come?
You're lucky there's a CBL between us, I'm telling you. That's all I'm saying to you now.
No.
Very lucky.
No. And that's all we say, huh?
So obviously, Homecoming, it was a big opportunity.
Yes, sir.
You're going up against Charlie Sterling, and for the amount of years that Charlie Sterling has been in OTT, he has his first singles championship now. He doesn't want to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone through the likes of Colin Black. He's gone through John McGann. He's gone through
Easily
top
went through
Irish
John
wrestlers
McGann.
here, and he didn't necessarily go through you, but you got the injury. How are you now?
I'm fine, I'm not going to... If it was nothing serious now, I think...
Did he throw in the towel too early?
We've had this argument, and it was a bit tender for a while. I won't lie, but it was thrown in. You thought in a moment, you thought wrong. Hands up! Look, he doesn't understand. Look,
Look,
I was saying
you're going to have
doesn't understand.
You're going to have
Quote
clashes.
CBL.
You're going to have.
Thank you.
You're going to have clashes in the league.
Thank you.
If you meet Charlie Sterling in the provincial championships or the All Ireland series, it might be different.
You want him 100% for that match. No,
Yeah.
as I said, it's league format, league tactics.
It's not.
If there's a niggle or a little bit,
not
you get them out, you rest your star players. And when it comes to championship, you leave them in.
But what happens then if
Makes no sense.
Charlie loses out to Golden Boy Santos? If he loses, because it looks like that's the way it's going, and you have to go up against Santos, does that change anything for you?
You'd be owed something, wouldn't he?
Is
Or a
it-
replay, probably.
A
is true there,
replay.
a
I'd say you'd love a replay because there's more tickets being sold, huh?
Yeah, more money. Yeah, I like that. Yes, we agree on that point. Yes.
I was being sarcastic. There's no need for replays these days. I'm making a joke at you. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, the only thing I'll say about that match now as well is Foxy.
Just give it a minute there. Just for a minute there.
the
Just-
blood
just-
pressure's rising, looking
no,
at you.
we'll talk- we'll
we're
move
in
on.
the doctor's there, John,
no,
checking the
jacket, it's the
cholesterol,
jacket.
everything. It would can we just
give
for
him-
take
give him a
second
rest.
of silence.
Yes.
Right.
A second of silence.
People rubber heading.
Everyone close their eyes and just...
Apology for the outburst.
You all right now?
I'm all right.
You're
That's
doing
okay.
Foxy shouldn't have allowed it as well. So I will
But
say,
should Charlie Sterling have put his hands on Foxy? You gonna
uh,
tell me that's all right?
I think Foxy.
I think Charlie Sterling was feeling the pressure of that bull. I think that's what was happening there. I think the bull was pushing up against him a bit too hard, putting him to his limit.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential in CBL. With the right guidance,
some boy,
with
ain't
right
you?
guidance, you go all the way. But I think Foxy called it wrong there, as usual. Corrupt Foxy. But to finalise it, you cost CBL a big moment in the ambassador. In my neutral, unbiased opinion,
It's very biased. You're trying to get him. You've after handing him 3 different business cards.
Can I ask you a
there-
question? Just one
No,
question.
no.
What is your problem with me? Why are you obsessed with me?
too old. There's enough managers in OTT, and you're ruining CBL's career. There's 3 off the top of my head.
I'm ruining his career. I'm bringing him all the way to success in the championship. I'm not too old. I'm like a spring chicken, and I'll show you. I'll show you now. A spring chicken. Yeah, that's it. You coward. You coward. Come on. Wait, who's old now? Who go on. Jesus Christ. Calling me old.
What is this? You brought this down here. You did this. This is on you. This is an unsafe workplace.
You alright?
Oh, he's
Blood pressure's after going.
going to have a heart attack.
It's his jacket. It's your jacket. It's like he's the bull and you're wearing red. Like that's just.
And yet it's an apple. Eating fruit on OTT Insider.
You've after really done it there, lads. Now
The doctor taught me I have to eat my 5 a day, and the blood pressure was up around here at just so.
See, if you had to edit it, you would have kept him away.
What are those? Jesus Christ, I'm dropping apple. Apologies, our lovely table.
There you go, CBL.
no pistachio.
This is what a manager does now.
They're full of fat.
Bit of nutrients,
No, they're full of fat,
bit
I
of
heard.
protein.
Sorry, job, no.
We're not eat healthy. The diet plan I have you on and all. You're listening to him already.
So we're coming up. Like it's the year of the bull. That's what you've been saying.
It's the bull every year, and that's like, you look at everyone. You look at the whole roster of Ireland. Any company, anywhere, any county, any place at all, right? I'm saying that right now. I say it non-stop. The year of the bull is every year. It's followed one after another because every year is getting better than the last. I'm upping my game in every area possible. You know.
Pistachio.
I agree.
Real tight, ain't you?
Without my money, there would be no OTT Insider. But I agree with you. The year of the bull. It has been a year of a bull. What is the future for CBL? Like what is the next step?
I want to be the top wrestler in the country. There's no doubt about that, and I'm constantly on that course. It takes time. You know what I mean? Constantly trying to get bigger size. Constantly trying to get more matches, more countries, everything and anything.
It seems like you're trying to get more eyes on you as well because you're doing
Constantly.
something. You're doing something very interesting. We've done it on the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show. We've made it. They call me Pistachio O'Keefe in school, by the way. We've done it on the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show. A documentary about a certain person.
Beyond the Tate.
No, it wasn't that one. It was about John Bradshaw Layfield.
The King Chief himself, huh?
What's your obsession with
I'm playing with
JBL?
toys again.
Just
Jesus
carry that
Christ.
around.
I do carry that around.
What's your obsession with JBL?
I'm not obsessed with JBL.
I am. I love him.
But there's this old fella going round country to country, and he wants to. No, it's not Peter Ghandi. Calm down. Calm down. now.
Have you ever left the country, Gandhi?
I did once. I'll let him finish. I'll tell you about my holiday I had. It was
okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't tell this story.
I'll tell this. I'll let you finish off about your man.
You're not going into this again.
If he wants to find out about the holiday, I'll tell him about the holiday.
Go on. Sorry, CBL. Continue.
John Bradshaw Layfield,
Yeah.
former WWE champion.
Yeah.
One of the most historic names in professional wrestling. You know, I think he's up
course.
there. But you know, this fella's going around place to place, wanting to clothesline fellas and just hit the road. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see him come over to Dublin. JBL, I want to see you come to Dublin. And I want to see you. I want to see your face when you try and clothesline the bull. Because you're going to bounce right off me, lad. And I am going to leave you for dust.
Go on, that bull. That's it. That's the other two. Go on. Go on, that bull.
That was good.
All the way. Go on, that bull. Jesus Christ.
See that now?
I love that. I love that.
See that now,
That was
JBL?
good. See, there's fire there.
But like in the realms of OTT, anything can happen. We've seen legends show up before. We've seen former WWE champions show up before. We're about to see a former WWE champion show up in the
Maharaja.
modern day Maharaja, Raj Deshi, formerly Jinder Mahal. He's showing up at OTT Reckoning. So, you know, these big names are coming over. It wouldn't be outside the realms. And by you putting yourself out there on social media, calling them out constantly. He's saying that he wants to come to Ireland.
People want to see it as
He's
well.
called you a leprechaun. Like you're
CBL, leave it with me. Leave it with me.
Mr. Tate, if you're able to get big names, could you get Daniel O'Donnell to show up there to OTT?
Saying, get JBL underlined twice.
And Daniel O'Donnell.
I'm not writing that down. No.
Go on, the crowd would love it.
I will say this about Tate.
Daniel O'Donnell, yeah.
You want that?
You
want that?
I will say this about Tate. He does seem to have connections with like rich wrestlers. Ted DiBiase.
Pal.
Do you have a bin?
A bin.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it here.
There we go. Go, man. Thank you very much.
Where's your briefcase?
Very funny, Jesus. Very good.
There's nothing else in there.
Very
There's
good.
nothing else in there.
That's brilliant.
He doesn't work. He doesn't work.
He's on the door, him.
Gandhi, I can't wait to hear about your holiday story, but we're here to talk about Homecoming as well.
Oh, but Jesus, I met a nice lad called Peter. He was very nice. I went up and I was like, Peter, I'm also Peter. We had a lovely handshake.
I
We
thought you were
did.
going to say it was you in the mirror.
Yes, that's exactly what I was
Then
talking
there was another lad I met. I met him a few times, but he's an old friend of mine now at this stage. Joe Cabray, lovely lad.
Oh, yeah, he goes
Tell
well
you,
good back and
every time I go up, we have lovely chats, the two of us. We go back. And if you saw, like, I'm not sure if these are the cameras, are they?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you would have saw him, but the young fella got me on the old Instagram these days, and I'm posting all old memories. And I put up one of me and my old friend Joe Cabray. And
He's a lot older than people realise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or maybe I'm a lot younger, eh? Go man, eh? But yeah, good memories there. I like sharing the memories, and just there's a few people who seem to be wondering what I'd be up to, and that's mad to me. Like, I'd be doing nothing much now. I'd be down the pub and I'd be working away, and now I'm going following him around. But
and you've been to a lot of good wrestling shows as well. You've like the local Rumble, and then you got to be part of the first ever show in the Ambassador. Mm-hmm. Edward, you've mentioned before about the Ambassador, how historic it is, but getting to be part of it must have been a big deal.
I saw so many great gigs there in the Ambassador back in the day, but wouldn't be my
like
first
what?
time going to wrestling.
Like what?
No one you would know with Joe.
Yeah.
Silly
taste. There's always a veil of some kind of uncertainty about every single thing you say. I'd say you couldn't even name the band that you saw, and I'm not even saying it's a memory thing. I just don't believe you.
You've seen Wings back in the day, haven't you?
Wings in the Ambassador.
I tell you, Wings, the band the Beatles only wish they were, huh?
See, this man, I bumped into this guy, this person at the Ambassador, and he's telling me you were one of the original members of the Beatles or something. Or you were asked to be in the Beatles.
No, you're misquoting me.
Was that it? Yeah.
No, you're misquoting me there. You're trying to make me look silly now.
That sounds fantastical, doesn't it?
Can I tell my story?
No,
Can I tell my story?
No, you can't.
Shane, can I tell my story?
No, we're going to cut all this out with this lad in it. This is absolute.
Can we just turn off his microphone there and I'll talk away?
Paid if we cut out.
So back in the day, I remember it was brilliant. It was over. This is the holiday story now.
Oh, we're going to the holiday story.
We're going to the holiday story. Wait to hear this.
To be fair now, this is a good one.
So,
sit back for this.
back in the day, right, I used to play the old GA. I was quite good at it too. And we got to the county final and sure, we were only going to win the whole thing.
On the county final.
So Mick McGrath, who lives down, he's a locally lad, but he has a nice factory there, so he's a bit of money. He was very, very proud of us. He was like, lads, you brought the county championship back. We'll treat you. So we went on a trip, and not just to one destination. We stopped off in Liverpool first. And I met a now old friend of mine. And he wasn't doing much at the time, but he played a bit of music, and I was like, "Oi,
nowhere. Like,
give me over that guitar there, and I'll play you a song." And I played away. I plucked a few, and I sang an old Irish song.
Yeah.
And he goes, "That's lovely guitar playing. Would you like to join my band?" And I was like, "I'm married to the game of sport. I'm married to the game of football." And I was like, "What's your name?" And his name was John Lennon. No,
didn't happen.
I could have been in the Beatles.
So it was John Lennon from the Beatles. There just wasn't. It's a popular name over there. So
no, it was John Lennon from
Definitely.
the Beatles. Met him before he formed. He was looking for a band, and he said, "Peter, You're the man for my band.
Does that make you about 80, would it? About 80 years old.
It's awful rude
if you're working out, if you're working out, because last time I spoke to you, claiming you're in your mid-60s or mid-50s or something, but you must be about 80, 85 if you met John Lennon in Liverpool
rude
before the Beatles were
asking
formed.
me about my age.
Well, talking
and
about-
I didn't even get to the second part of my holiday.
We don't want to hear
you
about
didn't hear about
we
me.
don't need to
walking
hear
around
about
the beach.
We're
drinking
talk
the
about
sun.
wrestling.
The first
We're
time
talking about
I
wrestling.
spent sand at my
This is my
feet.
show and you're coming down here.
Calm down,
Here.
mates.
Throw nuts
Calm
at me.
down.
Throw nuts at you. It's a joke.
Calm down, mates. Right, you talked about numbers. We'll get to the second part of the holiday. I'm very interested to hear it. But talking about numbers, let's talk about the numbers 6, 3, 1. Seeing some of the best in Irish wrestling and the best internationally going against each other. How did you feel about that?
I'm a little bit worried about Limo. I think he's a bit misguided now.
Well, like you think about Limo, he went up. He had that big chance against Big Damo in the complex.
Fella changes like the weather, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to. This is called professionalism.
Professionalism, huh?
This is called
Did you
professionalism.
ever hear the likes,
That's what
did
we're
you?
down here for.
Did you ever hear the likes?
Looking at him there, there's not an ounce of professionality in that.
Look at that facial hair.
Halloween costume of his.
And is it for charity? The whole...
No, it's not for charity.
It was a new thing he was trying out.
That's a rough one, isn't it?
You were all out of bed and you said, that looks good. No, that's embarrassing.
Bit like you when you had the sideburns.
Remember that, geez, I must show you those
I'd love to
pictures.
see those pictures.
Yeah. very
Why are you
bad.
putting up with this?
That was good.
I like talking to him.
We all make mistakes, fashion-wise.
Come on, anyways, tell the holiday story.
Oh, go back to it anyway.
No,
so
no,
we're
no,
there,
no, no,
right?
we're at the 6-2-1.
So after Liverpool, we fly over. We go into Lanzarote. I've never seen the likes of a place in my life. The sun was shining for the whole time we were there. And we had just once, we were drinking away and drinking away and drinking away. And we went down to the beach and I actually felt the sand on my feet and I couldn't believe it. Barefoot now. We had a game of football on the beach barefoot.
Gaelic football.
No, the soccer, the English one. A group of lads come up to us, lovely tans of them, and they said, would you mind if we played with you? Spanish lads.
Didn't happen.
A bunch of Spanish lads, right? And they were like, we'll
glory
play.
days,
The
the
glory days. And they were very good now. They were passing the ball. They were zip, zap, zip, zap, zip, zap. Couldn't get near them. So it came to half-time. We lose about 3-0. And I pulled the team in and was like, lads, we're the county champions. We can't let them beat us. So we changed the tactics. Kind of like what we'll do with the Bull next. Didn't we kick the legs out of them for the next 20 minutes?
Oh,
They crawled away, so they did. We won 4-3. And we went for a few points. They were like, I like the way you play football, lads. And one of them, lovely lad now, looks at me. And he goes, Peter, you might be one of the finest footballers I ever played in my life. I was like, Jesus Christ, what's your own name? And do you know what he said his name was?
What did he say his name was?
His name was Raoul.
Absolute lies.
No,
Absolute lies.
Fantastic
And
player
you
for Real
buy
Madrid.
into this? So you believe it?
I know this.
Was
man
this
a
on
long
the same
time.
And
holiday?
have you ever met, like, when Gandhi's...
I never met Raoul.
Wasn't on. He was a young fella.
Did you ever meet John Lennon? Like, when Gandhi's making up all these
wasn't
little
there.
stories.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, you weren't
I think
there.
he
You
was
were
born in the
that-
60s. That's
you-
awful insulting.
You were never
Yeah,
there.
but
60s.
Raoul,
Now we know.
Raoul and John Lennon, those timelines are a bit...
He was only a young fella at the time.
You might be getting them confused. Have you been on 2 holidays, maybe?
I'll have to come back to you. The
Have you-
memory's
how
not
many,
great
how many
anymore.
county finals have you won?
I can tell you that all day.
Have you won at least 2?
We did the double one year. We did the football and the hurling one year. That was a great
Also,
year.
maybe it was... Yeah, I'm just saying that Raoul playing soccer in his pomp, or just before he went pro, and John Lennon before he started the Beatles.
It's absolute lie. Like, it makes no sense. Everything about this makes
I
no
think they're
sense.
looking into it a bit too much.
Do you know what I think it was?
Different holidays.
Detail.
When I
CBL.
was the manager.
Ah,
When I was the manager, we went on another holiday. That's
There
it.
you
Two.
go.
yeah.
There you go.
There we go. I was the
Exactly.
manager. I wasn't playing. I was the manager.
Yeah, head gets away from him sometimes.
It does, yeah.
Old age. It's all in front of you, lads. All in front of you.
Make a few notes.
Well, let's look back on what came then instead of looking ahead. We were talking about Limo. Limo had that World Championship shot against Big Damo. He could have ended the year with the world title. Didn't happen. You know, you're going up against Big Damo. You've seen him. He's a beast of a man.
He's an old friend of mine too.
Is he?
Great time.
Yeah, this is
Great
you've set
time.
me on our tangent
We're
now.
not getting into another Gandhi story. We have to get through this show here.
Damo would
We got-
only. Damo would love to hear from you. You know,
Damo.
he's-
We'll get into Damo.
We'll come back to Damo.
when we're
We'll come
talking
back to
about Be Cool. But
Good
yeah,
grief.
Limo
Bit of consistency.
was I wouldn't say he was far outside people's prediction for the Loco Rumble. You've probably been in the ring with him before. Like, you know, it's he has all the tools there, but he was the one that ended up eating the pin. I know Robbie X wasn't playing ball with the team and
This
stuff.
is
but
where I think Limo is just dropping the ball a bit is why, like, he was on the Robbie X team, Michael Oku. I felt therein lies the problem.
Michael Oku ain't losing.
Yeah, but Limo needs to come with a bit better friends. Better friends.
Who would you have put Limo with?
I would have put him with maybe like Dara Lynch and
Ilya?
Ilya. That's great call.
Ilya, Limo, and Dara Lynch.
Yeah, that would have worked. That would have worked. But Robbie X just wasn't playing ball. Lima got the pin. That's not good.
But what about the opposite side of things? Cara Noir, Callum Black, and then you have sculpted Cian Noonan. Have you seen Cian Noonan wrestle?
I have. Jeez, he's mad with all the
Unbelievable.
Jesus, back in the day, like my first introduction to wrestling was the likes of Big Daddy and those lads.
Giant Haystacks.
The very
Mick McMahon, Kendo Nagasaki.
Big lads.
Yeah.
And then it's Cian Noonan. Great shape. But by God, he's there.
Like a whippet.
You can't keep up with him.
No.
Very good. Lovely young lad too. Very respectful, like some people.
And watching the concept of the match in itself of 3v3 then becoming a triple
What
threat.
happened there? I was very confused.
I know the rules in wrestling change per match.
Okay.
So they're not the same every match.
All right, what happened with that?
He's still trying to learn the
It was
rules.
very, it was very entertaining. There were bits and bobs going, but then there was one match and then it became the same match. What, can you please explain?
So the lads were on the same team.
All right.
And then they just split off into their own individuals.
It's a game of knockouts you used to play as a kid.
Cian Noonan gets the win. What do you think of that?
Lovely lad.
Cian Noonan,
You would assume LJ is coming up for him.
Yeah, I think
you've been in the ring with LJ. You've been in the ring with Cian. You've seen. Have you've been following along what's going on between those two?
Yeah, they're two of the peak wrestlers in Irish wrestling. I think like LJ Clary is someone I'd look at. He is number one. He's head honcho. You know what I mean? I think he's inspired a generation of Irish wrestlers. You know, me
Lovely
being one
young
of
lad.
them. He is, isn't he? Yeah. Remember he gave you that Twix.
Very nice of him. We went to the shop and he got me a surprise of a Twix.
we don't
Very
need to
nice.
know. We don't need to hear about it.
Calm down, you. LJ Clary, you know, he set the blueprint for everyone, I think, in Irish wrestling, and many like myself have chased it, and I think.
But why aren't you obsessed? Like, you're chasing it, and obviously is that blueprint. Why does Cian seem so obsessed with getting the win? Like, would you be it is an obsession at this stage. Mm-hmm. Can you resonate with that at all as a wrestler?
I've had my spouts with LJ and elsewhere and stuff like that, and he's been my coach since day one. He's had a big fundamental part, I think, in Cian Noonan's progression, and I think both of them men want the best out of each other, and I think it's.
So you think it's based on mutual respect? It's not.
I think deep down, I think there's.
It's getting too heated.
It is getting heated, but I think it's
It's good sportsmanship, though.
It's good.
Good sportsmanship.
It's a good, healthy meeting of egos, isn't it?
It's like back in the day. There was a club called a Pershig, and they always got the better of us.
Yeah.
And they always let us know it. Now, there were some lovely lads on the team, but on the pitch, they were vicious. And we had
Tommy Riley,
the vicious man. Lovely. Met him in a bar. The nicest man in the world, but on the pitch, ruthless.
Yeah.
What happens on the pitch, what happens in that ring, ruthless. You can be, they're both lovely lads outside of it, but inside, you gotta be ruthless, and that's where his next step is the viciousness,
ruthlessness. We need to get your opinion on
I
this.
think Ghandi covered it there. What's the next match?
Myla Grace, Sadie Gibbs. To see Sadie Gibbs over here, she is a phenomenal talent. But I think the story in that match is about Myla getting the victory and Raven coming out afterwards. And like when we had Joe down here after Raven won the title, she had given a list of people that she wanted to take on. I don't think Myla Grace is on that list. So how does that...
You'd be fairly stung, wouldn't you? You'd be fairly rattled at that.
We're snapping at that one now.
Like, how do you prepare for something like that? Something coming out of the blue?
The man's never been in a match or a fight in his life. What would he know about preparing?
You're not gonna, can you contribute, please? We're trying to let you talk. You're just... I don't like seeing you sad. What's your thoughts on Myla Grace and Raven Creed?
Myla Grace, Raven Creed. I think Myla proved that she is at the level of Raven Creed. I think she dominated that match. I think she got the win just like that.
But by doing that,
Pull her
Myla,
finisher
and
out.
Myla coming back from Japan, do you think Myla, she's not trying to prove that she's on the level of Raven Creed? She's thinking that Raven Creed has to prove to her that she's on Myla's level.
But,
Like,
Who's the champion, though?
but you're not going to get into Raven's head.
Right, I understand that, but like, going to Japan, I'm sure for yourself might be a goal.
Definitely.
And she spent how many months over there? Nearly a year over there. Like, she's no doubt coming back on. I should be the champion. I have to go through Raven Creed. So are they both thinking that, like, oh, we're not on each other's levels because I'm better than you? Is that the way it's going?
It's tit for tat, yeah. I think they're. I mean, in Belfast, Myla got in the mic, she called out Raven. Raven, obviously, in this show came out and called out Myla. So I think, yeah, I don't think she was on the list originally. I think Myla has just inserted herself into the Irish wrestling scene back from Japan, and she'll put it up to Raven. But I still think Raven will get the job done.
Can I give my 2 pence here now on this one?
Of course, yeah.
Yes, so you need to go and win it. Now, can Myla do that as a thing? She's done the training abroad, so she has the experience. It's just when it matters most now, and that's up there. The body, the training's been done. That's where it's won now.
How do you sculpt something like that then? As a manager who's like effectively in the industry, you talked about CBL needing to be more ruthless. Like, that's a mentality thing. How do you sculpt something like that?
There's a famous story.
You might want to write this down.
Of Andreas Pirlo the night before the 2006 World Cup. He was playing FIFA. No, I never played it myself, but he was relaxed. Cool as a cucumber. Went out the next day and he was ready. Not a thought in his mind except winning. You got to get to that level where you've prepared well enough that you're not overexcited.
Whereas Zidane ended up headbutting
Too
Materazzi.
excited. Too in his head.
But what has that got to do with Myla Grace and Raven Creed?
Not being funny here, but he's far more insightful than you.
The man comes up with an analogy that makes no sense to this conversation that we're having.
I'm not too familiar with Myla Grace's
comes
game.
up with
So what's
Andreas
the big move
Pirlo,
she hits? Taka Mitsubishi driver.
Indeed, yeah, that's it.
That is going to order a taco chip now in a minute if you don't be careful.
What you need to do is when the opportunity comes, be ready to hit that move. And that's it then.
I will admit, Peter Ghandi would make an unbelievable local councillor in a Gombean county council. But it's nonsense.
Relax.
It's total nonsense.
Relax.
We're trying to get insight here. And I'm being shut down every time I get to speak.
Well, we've given you the opportunity. We need some insight. You basically just said Myla came out and talked, Raven came out and talked, and we'll see what happens.
Well, I feel like I'm being disrespected on my own show.
By who?
By you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, we're having a nice debate here, I thought.
What's the debate?
It's
a bit of back and forth, tit for tate.
Tit for tate. Did you see the interview that I did with Trent and with Sammy?
Yes, actually, I did. Yeah, that was great. I thought you did okay.
Oh, okay.
You did okay for the first 3 seconds, and then the thing fell apart completely. And it finished up after what, 25, 30 seconds.
What would you have?
You had a prime.
Like 2 minutes.
What would you have done?
He had a prime opportunity with 2 of the biggest talents that were going to be in OTT, and you blew it. You did. You blew it. All you had to do was keep it calm, keep it controlled. Control the narrative, and you couldn't do that.
I basically am responsible for 2 matches on that card.
You're responsible.
Seven.
Trent Seven. He's a very famous wrestler, and I got to talk to him.
That's what he said to me. He taught me that.
He is. He's so famous.
He did tell me that.
And I got to talk to him.
He told me something different first, though, the Chancellor, huh?
Oh, look at the way that it was Adam coming out to represent Sammy.
I thought that was interesting.
The draw has disbanded by proxy of having to disband from losing at the last Scrapper Mania, and Adam comes out to represent Sammy. Not saying that the draw are back or anything like that, but it just goes to show that maybe when we said before that Sammy only cared about the belt, he didn't care about the rest of the draw, maybe those dynamics were wrong. Like, maybe he did care about him, and Adam seems to care about Sammy if he wanted to come out and represent him here.
Maybe Adam was the only guy that actually had Sammy's back after it's all said and done.
Well, it wasn't Jay.
It certainly wasn't Hop Along Jay, that's for sure. A little cripple Jay. We'll get to you soon enough, Jay boy.
But I'll tell you this now, and it's true. There was a club back home called Cullimanana.
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 So you want to try it?
Sorry?
Do you want to try Damo?
No.
Of course, he doesn't want to participate at all.
I'm going to try it, and then he can out now in a minute.
Participate. There you go. Hey, boom, boom.
You're good. You didn't think of that.
But anyway, Cullimanana. A small little club, not many players, and they had to disband. So all the players kind of went playing elsewhere, this, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
But every now and again, if there were short players for Junior B, and either Cullimanana boys would ring each other up and come and play, they come and play.
Cullimanana.
There we go. And that's kind of like the draw. They're disbanded, but if they need numbers, they'll come and play. Lovely.
Okay, Ghandi, I will admit, that was an analogy that made a bit of sense.
Hey, here we go. I'm getting you. I'll get you. You'll be a friend of mine in no
just
time.
less,
Tell you that.
just a little bit less.
Trent Seven coming out on top though.
Trent Seven on top.
Seven.
Always
very
on
famous
top.
wrestler.
Yeah. I did you expect any different? You know, I'm a big fan of Max Dead, but it's Trent Seven. So
He was on the telly,
I
wasn't
think
he?
I think
They were
Sammy
both on the telly at the end of the day. Yeah, they were all right. Yeah.
Adam was the best that Sammy had to offer. Then Trent proved himself. But would Sammy prove himself?
Well,
Time will tell.
We'll talk about that now. We do have to talk about the fact that Elijah was very unfortunate not to get to show up.
I was awful disappointed. I wanted to play a bit of guitar with him. He seemed like a very good
Was
guitar.
Darryl Lynch not there? Did he have a guitar?
No,
he
Never mind, Dave. You got a guitar here.
There should be one.
no.
Oh,
he wrecks
Get
my
a
head, that
guitar
Darryl
there.
Lynch.
Get a guitar there. Go on.
I don't know if it's tuned.
Yeah, no, leave that now. We can.
Peter.
Oh, but Jesus.
Play that song that you played for John Lennon.
Yeah, actually, do play that for John.
It might be tuned though.
He'll still make it work.
Jeez, there's no tuning in that one.
That's good. You didn't think he could play it, did you?
I'm going to write a song for Tate.
How-
Here we go. Here's Tate's song. There's a man I know, his name is Tate. There's a man I know, and his mustache is a state. Tate, he's such a pain. Not a single thought in his brain. And when it's time to go, everybody knows Tate's a fool.
Tate's a fool.
Tate's a fool.
Tate's
Everybody!
a fool.
Oh, Tate's a fool. Tate's a fool. Needs to go to school, 'cause Tate's a fool.
Tate's a fool.
Yo! There we go.
Himself there now.
And that was on the spot.
You should teach Darryl Lynch how to play guitar. I don't think he
Oh, he
actually
wrecks
knows.
my head. I could be
He
talking
does,
to
doesn't
him. He's awful. His mother does. Jesus Christ, he's...
He has her wrapped around his finger, doesn't
What
he?
was the word you said? A fox in your word.
Oh,
wasn't it?
my Jesus Christ, my heart goes pitter-patter when I see
Really?
the mammy.
How
My
did you?
God.
How did you feel when she kissed Grado at the local rumble?
I was jealous.
Were you jealous?
Should have been me.
Should have been you, man.
If she wanted to kiss a man with a belly, there's only one man with a belly for her.
Oh,
Oh. Bit of
self
timber,
appreciation. You're a tag team partner, though.
MLD.
Yeah. Were you upset for him? It would have been a big opportunity to go up against Elijah. They might meet in TNA at some stage, but it would have been great to see him at Homecoming.
No, it wasn't very. I mean, look, MLD, great former friend of mine, former tag team partner, but he did throw me at local rumble.
Betrayed you.
The ultimate betrayal is what happened. The
It's
ultimate.
every man for himself, I heard.
Yeah, but we had a strategy. It was all lined up, and we did say that we'd go against each other further into the rumble.
Oh, so you're saying to me, no, my strategies are no good, but yours failed also, no?
Yeah, just true. You know, the person I was dealing with obviously wasn't honest.
He did catch you out there.
Tate is a fool, isn't he?
Tate's a fool.
It's a
Tate's
fool. Good song, boys. Good song.
Anyway, his replacement.
Oh, Renzo. Yes, Renzo. Yeah, very happy with Renzo. Top tier talent. Yeah. What more do
Great
you
to
want me
see
to
him
say?
back. Everyone, like, there was like a petition, and people were like, "Welcome back." To be honest, it wasn't gone that long. He's from Italy. He maybe made excursions back home. Like, you know,
Felt long to me.
well, like it seemed like he left in a sulk after he lost the NLW title to Danhausen. Danhausen lost to the Sem after. It seemed like Renzo couldn't deal with the fact that Sem was the NLW champion, and then threw his ties over the pram, and now he's back because Sem ain't champion.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what probably happened. And the same is a clown, and he belittled the title. And Renzo's now back, and it's great to see him. It's great to see him.
I reckon it's a bit like Tipperary in the hurling. They have a very good team. They play well all year and they win it. They go a bit mad in the beer.
Yeah.
The next year, bit of infight and a bit of this and that. So what happened there was the next year after winning of Tipperary was Renzo. But he's back now. And you know what happens when Tipperary come back from a bad year? They have a great year. So watch out. Watch out.
They stopped
Renzo
the
Rose-
drive for 5 for Kenny.
Renzo Rose is the Tipperary of OTT.
So what does that- what does
but
that-
he still lost to man like Dries. so he didn't get it done.
Yeah.
It's the league.
Oh, it's a league analogy again.
So what does that? Yeah, but you're like Jay came out with his title.
He didn't just come out. He hopped out on one leg with his title that he doesn't defend, Joe. He doesn't defend the title. Make him give it up. Even, you could be stepping up
You
here.
don't want to be handed it.
Even yourself could have a little chance
I'd lorry
there.
him across the ring now if you get a chance as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
But you'd want to face him in top shape because
I want to top shape.
just take the
He'd want
title,
to rest the
CBL.
body.
We're not looking for any, walks in the park.
Well, that's why I give you walks in the park. When that's what I give you. I give you walks in the park. Tate will hold your
Do what
hand.
you want with your free
and will
time.
walk
This is
into the park.
wrestling.
Cotton socks, huh?
Renzo calls Jay out. Jay comes out. And what, are they going to have a match next year or the year after whenever Jay gets back to 100%?
he's been advocating that Jay give up the title.
He needs to give up the title.
Well, it depends on the extent of the injury now, to be fair.
He's not defending it, Gandhi. He's
give
not
him a
defending
leave,
it.
you give
And
him a leave,
Gandhi, you of all people, you seem to be a man of conviction. If you stand over the fact that he had the championship, he should defend it. Do you not agree?
No, I don't know the rules of wrestling, but is it like a yearly thing now, like in the football and the hurling, that you defend your title?
No.
He's not the champion for the year. No, it'd be like if you won the All Ireland title
All right.
and the next match you played was for the All Ireland title. Not like a replay, but like
Every time you play.
Every time you play,
And if you lose, you're not the All Ireland champion.
You're not the All Ireland champion
That's
anymore.
dangerous.
like boxing. It's like boxing.
Boxing.
You know boxing,
Like
yeah?
boxing.
Boom.
It's exactly, boxing.
Well, I suppose I'd have to agree with Tay for the first time.
Look, this is what I love about the discussion
I do have
and
to
discourse.
agree.
You started off, and you seem to be like this, but through the medium of conversation, you've found common ground. You had to go ruin it, didn't you? You had to ruin that nice
I
moment.
saw an opportunity.
But I still agree with him. If you're a champion, you defend it. Now, if it's a small injury, it's all right. But
That
depends
being
on,
said, though,
It's a big injury, though.
We've said
Does this have a barcode on it?
Yeah.
What does that bring you to?
Brings you to my
it's either
social
little
media.
plus. He scans at little plus.
Brings you to my social media accounts. If you're
Can you scan that? Maybe. Just for the people that...
20% off your next shop.
But
you go.
Renzo is going to destroy Jay. If that match ever happens, it'll be Jay's last match. So at least we have an ending coming up soon.
You're not a fan of Jay, no?
Jay.
Yeah, would you be a fan?
Where is this hatred of Jay coming from? Oh, it's Scrappermania and he turned on Sammy.
But
now he doesn't like Sammy.
I don't know. Well,
Who do you like? Do you like yourself?
yes, I love
He
myself.
does. To
a
be
lot.
fair, he does.
All right.
He
He's
really
one.
does.
Yeah, I like CBL.
Thank you.
Good taste there.
Yeah.
Good taste.
But yeah, no, Jay. Did you see in the
was
Rumble?
like- he
See,
was-
I gave Jay a
he
few
was
kicks
slagging
in
you
the
off
local
when he got
Rumble.
injured.
See that? When
I
was
was
slagging
too
me.
busy.
Yeah,
no, I was not.
He was.
Slagging me.
I absolutely was not slagging you, CBL.
He was. He's the only reason I'm still on Snapchat because he's the only one that I know that still uses it. And he was sending.
Weird.
Do not have Snapchat.
And he was sending pictures, and he was like, "Ha ha 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 ha! CBL's down! Ha ha ha!"
That's
On Snapchat.
why you.
He
Making
does laugh when people get injured. You
On
do. You
Snapchat,
do.
but-
No, I
all
don't laugh.
things.
I do not laugh. People get injured. I laugh when clowns come out carrying crutches and pretend they're champions. That's what I laugh at.
Why are you going to the circus then?
I'm not going to circus.
But you know
Is it
what?
clowns?
Do you know what? And I said from
It's called
experience,
J-Clown.
right?
Yeah.
You might have laughed, but I had the highest of highs after the lowest of lows. At the injury, and Ghandi told me this many years ago when the old ankle went on the pitch. But the injury will make the man. I did it. I made myself one of the hottest prospects across the country. I start travelling all across Europe. Now you might find out. Is that the case with Jay? Do you know what I mean? Is he going to be the man after this?
Nah, he'll probably retire. I'd say. I don't see him wrestling ever again.
I know.
Doesn't like him at all, does
I know
he?
the European title is
Prestigious.
is in your vision as of now, but
Look,
like
I'd say now, there's been some hiccups here with ourselves. And,
Growing pains.
growing pains. He's man enough to admit it.
are you still growing, or are you? Oh,
Like
you
a
meant
relationship,
and
a relationship
sorry.
kinda, yeah.
Growing outwards, this fella. He
Oh.
is. Look, as I says, with growing pains, we're figuring all out, But we're finding our footing. Slowly but surely, we're figuring out.
So, would the outcome of the NLW potential title match between Renzo and Jay, would that interest you? Would
Any man with a championship around his waist in that company should be keeping their eyes on me. That's
What?
all I'd say.
All right, that's
So
insane.
I'm a threat. I'm a threat for anyone there.
All right. Be Cool, Joe Cabret, Big Damo, your friend.
My friend.
They're all in the ring. They're having a contract. Things get a bit heated. Be Cool uses a C word.
Yeah, I thought Be Cool got a little too heated too quickly. I didn't understand why he was getting so heated. It was like he's rattled.
Big Damo, as the world champion, you know, he seems to be very, very happy that he's representing OTT.
Yeah, agree.
But we kind of seen a bit of a different side to him, I think, with that.
He was. The buttons were pushed. You know.
I agree. He was justified.
Yeah, I think he was very
think so,
justified.
yeah?
Yeah, I think.
Put someone through a table, though, Gandhi. Have you ever seen the likes of it?
Many a time.
Go through a table.
Pool tables, not put through, but slapped onto a pool table, through a bar stool table.
I feel like
But these things happen when you cross certain boundaries.
he was being poked. He was the big bear being poked and poked and poked. And I felt like Be Cool knew exactly what he was doing. Be Cool knew he was going through a table no matter what. And
Big
he
bear.
decided to do it on his
Are we
own
calling him
terms.
Big Bear now? Is this?
No, he likes to use animal. You know the way you like using sport analogies?
I use animals.
He called Corvin was a great white shark.
Yeah.
Santos was a baby shark.
Baby shark.
You're the bull. You're the bull.
Your bull.
What animal? Yeah, if you were an animal, what would you be?
I reckon you'd be an owl.
Okay. Thank you.
I say an owl. Like who? Yeah, we asking stupid questions.
Who's Tate? Who?
No, wise old owl.
No, big stupid eyes in you as well.
This is like a fever dream.
It's because you're jacking and you're terrible facial hair.
Like,
Joe Cabret is telling Be Cool. I don't know whether this is a motivational thing. He's like, no offense, I don't want you as my champion. But like Big Damo then puts his hands on Joe. Joe's body, like he's out kind of wrestling. He made his retirement. He's out of wrestling. He's not calloused up.
What are you writing on that? These are expensive cars. EST is a fool.
What did you say? Did you
That's
hear?
on the
Is that in the
microphone.
videos? Is that in the videos?
Can you get a
We
clip
can
of that
edit
for
it
me?
out.
Show us,
We
show
can
us.
edit it out.
I won't. Edward Stewart Tate, legendary talk show host, manager, consultant, advisor,
Yeah.
agent, disruptor, commentator, mouthpiece, heat magnet, enforcer, developer, all
that stuff.
lowercase.
All that stuff is.
Why is it lowercase?
Some
Jeez, you
was
don't
asking
half
what I
love
do.
yourself, do you?
No, that's just they're the things I am. Like
Why
there's
lowercase?
why lowercase? I
Yeah.
thought it looks classy.
Can we get back to Joe?
Sorry, yeah.
Joe getting pushed over by...
Joe shouldn't
Big
have got
Damo.
involved. Shouldn't have got involved.
He's the owner of the company. He's there at a contract signing.
Yeah, but what happens at contract signings with a table? Someone goes through the table. Be Cool alluded to it at the very start. These guys are not even paying attention. Like,
Apologies, Sally.
Sorry, we were a bit excited there.
Good material on it.
thank you. I can do you a deal on cards if you're.
A deck of 52.
It doesn't say card maker on this.
I'm not.
Is that what heat magnet
No,
means?
I do-
you
I get deals.
You press them.
No,
heat
I
magnet.
get deals done. If someone
What
wants
does heat
something,
magnet
I
mean?
get it for them, and then I take a fee,
Like a
and that's the
radiator.
cost of doing business.
You're a radiator salesman. It's heat magnet.
Be Cool is going to get destroyed by Big
Are you
Damo.
right?
Like,
Do you think so? What do you think, CBL?
Look, it's an interesting one. Mr. Cabrera's taking it as interesting as well, and you know you can see the side of it. Look, what we seen with Be Cool before is he won the championship. Where was he after that? So,
But like he won the circumstances he won that champion. Like this can't be understated. He had to go through a grueling 8-man tag, right? But not only the physicality of that, where everybody on the other side, they didn't really care about having to get one over Justy or Joe or Angel Cruz. They wanted to kick the head off Be Cool. So the physicality of that, then the emotional aspect of that, of going against Sammy D, who he came up in this business with, going up against Jay, then the reunion with Jay, and then immediately afterwards. And we could see he was holding his shoulder. He was talking
Yeah.
to Foxy. We seen it in the crowd. We're
And
like,
Foxy
"There's
got involved."
There's something wrong here. And then he gets drove it through a chair on the stage. So
Yeah.
not only like does he, that's nuts. And then people go, oh, he's after giving up that man put himself through hell and came away with the title. So no matter what Big Damo can do, unless he can beat what happened there, Be Cool always has a chance.
yes, but it's Big Damo.
But why wouldn't Joe want that
It's Big
as
Damo.
his champion? Why wouldn't Joe want that as
Mayor, the proving ground is there.
Yeah.
It's there for the taking.
Here's the chance.
Is it a motivational tool for Be Cool? Is it like, is that what he's trying to do? He's trying to rally him by saying no offense?
I personally wouldn't do that. I'd never tell a young fella he's not good enough.
Hold on now.
What are you going to say?
I'm going to catch you out there.
Go on, catch me out. Go on.
You could be locked up for the things you said to me down through the years.
Well, let's get to the main event. Sammy D going up against the returning Peter Dunne. Peter Dunne, if that's what you want. Like another WWE superstar coming over. We didn't know what OTT was going to bring in that main event. I kind of did. Did you notice in that video? Now you might, because I like me.
What video?
In the video I made with Sammy and with Trent when I was doing the interview.
Oh yeah.
I kind of suspected who it was. The last word that I say in that is done.
Let's see if they get the job done.
Who showed up?
It was Pete Dunne. Who can get the job done? And that was a little spoiler.
I don't get
If you're looking at it now.
Look at him, huh? You must do this professionally very well. A long time.
No one ever picked up on it. It was probably because afterwards Joe started kind of like putting spoilers out then. But at the time, I was like, I made a prediction here. Turned into a spoiler. Who's going to get the job done? And then Pete Dunne showed up. D-O-N and D-U-N-N-E. Granted, different spellings.
You'd wonder who's dealing the cards, wouldn't you?
I'd love to see him do a crossword.
The name Dunne is like the word done.
Oh,
Pete Dunne, he showed up as Trent Seven's.
As
Trent Seven's.
got the job done. You're welcome.
What did you have to do with this?
I
You didn't know it was.
I knew the Dunne.
I knew it was.
The Dunne thing at the end of your cryptic video. I totally got that.
Get the job done.
Done. Yeah, get the job done. And then I was like, that was me.
Even on the promo, did you see the promo that I made?
You're welcome.
Like, OTT Wrestling is coming to the historic, and then at the end I said, get the job
job
done. And then a heartbeat came up because can you feel my heart?
Very good voice.
Yeah.
Thanks, lads. I appreciate that.
They're talking about me.
No,
Peter Dunne going up against Sammy D. An absolute war. Another WWE superstar coming over. We had Lyra Valkyria, the Intercontinental Champion. We had, at the time, the tag team champions in JD McDonough and Finn Balor.
You're welcome.
What an exciting name, yeah.
Man's nuts. Who else could we get? Like, who else is going to come over to OTT? Like, Pete Dunne. Like, that's nuts. It's crazy.
And what a reaction when he came out. Unbelievable. Fans absolutely, like, fair play to Joe Cabray for, following what I advised, get people over, and he did it. He succeeded.
But you don't like imports.
But, well...
You called LJ an import.
Wait, whoa, I didn't do that. I didn't say anything. I did not say anything like that. No.
We have footage.
don't be talking about him. LJ's a lovely young lad.
Just because he's travelling internationally, he'll be calling you an import soon.
What I was trying to get, what the point I'm trying to make here is, how interesting is it that Sammy didn't get the job done? What does that mean for the big tag team title match?
I thought he earned the respect of Trent, though.
They went toe to toe the whole way.
Yeah, this wasn't about like a victory. This was just you need to prove yourself to me. You can prove yourself to someone even though you lose. You can put in a valiant effort.
You think Trent thinks like that? Yeah. I would think he doesn't think like that. I think Trent will let Sammy believe he thinks like that.
Pretty united when your boys, the social elite, showed up and tried to.
Do you know Sean?
Sean, yeah, I do know Sean.
You are
Sean.
And the other fella.
No, they're my friends.
Yeah, let's put the other friend. Sean, no, yeah.
Are you hanging out with Sean?
Sean's a nice lad.
You'd be so
Why
jealous.
are we hanging out with Sean?
A few of the shows, we talking away to him and we'd made a few plans.
Bullet? Were you chatting to Matthew Bullet Smith?
Bits and pieces, but wouldn't be gone on him now.
You will be gone on Matthew Bullet Smith?
Wouldn't be gone on him. There's something off.
You weren't gone on him on the last Insider.
I am totally gone on Matthew Bullet Smith. Smitten, actually.
You're smitten on Smith.
Smitten on Maxer and Bullet Smith. The greatest tag team in the world.
In the last Insider, you were giving out, you didn't like how they were like all friends with Sanity and...
They were teetering on something I didn't agree with, but they came through for me.
Yeah, but look what happens when they come through for Tate. They get a pedigree.
Yeah, well, they'll learn a valuable lesson and they'll move on and they'll defend and they will win against Sammy and
What do you
Trent.
like about those two lads?
They represent a class system that I suppose allows people like me to make more money. And that's
Jesus
important.
Christ, no, that's what's wrong with the world
That's not
nowadays.
what's wrong with the
people
world.
like you taking money from
You know-
hard work.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
then we create
Irish
jobs.
people
We
who
create
come
jobs
in
for
and
people
we're
like
on
you.
We're on
We
the floor
create
day in, day out.
Without-
the factories
without people
are
like me,
closing,
you cannot
and you're
increase-
there with the money
you
like
cannot
that, and
increase
you're running
the
away
amount
off
of
to your
produce
Santa
that's happening.
Panzas and you're
You need
running
to
off to your
increase
New
capital
York,
and
robbing our money,
employ
robbing us
people like
blind.
you.
We're
Not
working
robbing you
people
blind.
here. We've always been working
No.
people.
I pay
and
my
you
fair
can
share of
come in and you
tax.
think
I pay my fair share of tax.
you're going to give me a heart attack.
You
one
know
of
what?
these
I pay
days.
far more
Do you
tax
want
than
to
you
know
do.
his catchphrase? He has a new catchphrase. He has hats and everything printed. Do you want to tell him?
Catchphrase. What age you?
Do you want to tell him?
Make OTT Tate again.
When was it ever Tate?
Local Rumble when I main evented the National Stadium, came 13th. Now I want to make it Tate again.
But
You were on one show.
Yeah, but it's also like a
National
mindset
Stadium.
of
We've
like
done more shows than that, Joe.
he,
Over
he wants
2,000
to
people.
bring in like dynamic
you were doing it,
pricing.
though.
It was a fantastic experience, the ambassador.
It was.
I'm sure you enjoyed being on the show. I'm sure you enjoyed sitting in the crowd. I enjoyed being very injured at home.
Didn't enjoy sitting here.
Did you not enjoy it? Why weren't you on that show?
I told you when I went into the Jacks.
Jeez, wait till you hear this. It's awful embarrassing.
And do you know when they have the stalls of the cubicles in the door, there might be a gap that size. And I hear wailing, I heard roaring and crying.
Oh, you weren't, oh yeah.
And what did I see on the floor?
That wasn't me.
Glitter
That was one of the girls. That was Myla Grace.
in the fellas.
Look, I was going through something that had nothing to do with the stadium stuff. It was stuff things.
Well, speaking of nothing to do with the stadium, we thought we'd be going to the stadium for Scrapper Mania. It's unfortunate. Joe Bray came out with a very honest and open message to the fans saying,
play, Tom.
"Yeah,
Didn't like it.
what do you mean you didn't like it?
thought it like giving back everyone's money. Like if he kept at least 50% of that money, he could have invested it in more imports for the next show. I think it was bad economics from Joe.
Why didn't you give him some money?
Looks like I'll have to step up,
Well,
which I always do.
People like you ruining this country.
Putting money
Robbing
from my
money
pocket
from hard-working
into
people.
OTT.
But the thing is, right, it looks like the show that we were getting at the National Stadium is pretty much been transferred over to the ambassador. Like, it seems to me, and I don't know, there's no definite confirmation, but I messaged Joey, he hasn't got back to me. It seems to me that we're getting Barry Be Cool versus Big Damo. It seems to me we're getting the tag team match of Social Elite versus Trent Seven and Sammy D. This is judging by the poster. It seems to me we're getting Raven Creed and Myla Grace. Are we getting Renzo and Jay? What's CBL going to do? What's Santos going to do? Charlie Sterling? Like,
Renzo, you can take on Renzo because Jay is not ready, as far as I'm aware.
you know?
Yeah.
It's a good challenge.
That
I'll
could
take
work,
on.
yeah.
Renzo, one of the best in Europe. I'll take him on.
If you
like, I know Joe is working on getting big names over.
Oh,
You're literally
How
throwing
many of
money
those
away.
you have? Jesus Christ.
You're literally throwing money away. But it looks like Joe, like, you know, he wants to get big names over. He wants to provide for the fans.
He's going to keep it.
That's a big burden to put on yourself. Some people said it was Paddy Morrow. He just wasn't ready to make his comeback.
I
He
heard
kind
that.
of-
Yeah, I heard that.
That's who I heard. It was you who heard it from. But it looks like we're getting pretty much the same show in the Ambassador.
Amazing show.
And not only that, we're getting the modern day Maharaja,
Yes.
former WWE champion,
Yeah.
former Jinder Mahal.
Cannot hinder Raj.
Yeah, can't.
As the old phrase goes.
Raj Deshi, he's coming over, Mr. Jinder Mahal.
Without a doubt, and in my it's just a personal opinion, but the greatest world champion in WWE history. For me, always a favourite. Yeah.
But it's also, we need to point out, Drogheda. That's on the road to that show as well. On the 19th of April, that's Colin Black's homecoming. Hooyah! Like, that's his... This is a big thing for him.
Hooyah.
We have Omari coming over.
Yes.
You know, hopefully you're not injured at the time and you come
Primed
back.
and ready. We're good to go.
Like,
Well,
that's
unfortunately
going to
now,
be a big show.
You better not do anything funny at that one. Because unfortunately, I have the under-16s final left to manage that day. So I won't be there that day.
You won't be in Drogheda.
No, I have the under-16s final. I have that booked in.
Will you be there?
I'll be there. I'll be primed and ready to go.
He doesn't need a manager. You don't need a
I'm
manager.
quite confident on my own.
We'll see how he gets on by himself. It's just
It's a test.
A test, we'll see.
It's a test. Well,
It
gentlemen,
would be interesting though, wouldn't it, if you had a different manager and you got the win? Would that would be interesting?
What do you think of this?
Would we,
Head off if you go anywhere near him.
what'd you say?
I will dig the head off you if you go anywhere
You
near
threatening
him.
me on my show? On my show, you come down here and you threaten me. Go on, stand up.
I can threaten who I want to threaten when you've been at me all the day.
I have not
right?
been at you.
You've
been at me
all day.
Every time I try to make
Ken
a point.
All saying I
This
have
has
a
been
belly.
OTT Insider. And
Do you know what? Is it fair? Are we finished?
Yeah.
All right, man, we go. So what? There we go. Yeah, that's it. Round two, big fella. Watch
Don't
out.
forget to
Mr.
pick up your
Sparkle.
tickets.
Wreck in the face, Mr. Sparkle himself.
Don't forget to pick up your tickets for Drogheda and for the Ambassador Show.
Here we go. Jesus Christ. Throw a dig in. No bother. I'll throw a dig there. No bother.
What's your actual title?
Mister,
What you do for work, like?
promote.
What?
His dad gave him a job in
he
his
did not.
property
No,
business.
he did not.
His family are actually responsible for the demolition.
No, no.